What if sleeping less than 6 hours does not just leave you tired the next day, but actually changes specific things inside your body within hours, things that affect your appetite, your stress levels, and even how your body stores fat the next day? Every night, your body runs through a series of repair and reset processes while you sleep. Cutting your sleep short does not just shrink the night, it can skip some of those processes entirely, and you would never know just from how you feel in the morning. If you have been getting by on 5 or 6 hours of sleep for years, telling yourself you are just someone who does not need much sleep, pushing through with coffee and willpower, you already know this feeling better than almost anyone. Maybe you tried sleeping in on weekends to catch up, or taking a short nap in the afternoon. Both helped a little in the moment, but by Monday or Tuesday the same heaviness was right back, like the weekend never happened. And the strangest part is, nothing on paper looks wrong. You are not sick, your meals are mostly fine, you are not under any unusual stress, you just feel a little heavier, a little hungrier, and a little less like yourself most days. But here is the part almost nobody connects to sleep. That low-grade hunger, that creeping weight gain, that constant low energy, all of it can be traced back to something specific that happens inside your body every single night you sleep less than 6 hours. Here's exactly why. David is 41, works as a project manager, and has spent years staying up late finishing emails or scrolling on his phone. Most nights he gets around 5.5 hours of sleep and has for as long as he can remember. He tried blackout curtains, cut off caffeine after 2 in the afternoon, and started waking up at the same time every day. He stuck with all of it for weeks, genuinely expecting to feel like a different person. And yet most mornings he still woke up hungry, found himself craving something sugary by mid-morning, and noticed his weight had crept up slowly over the past year, even though he had not really changed how he was eating. But here is what almost nobody realizes. The problem was not how tired David felt. It was a shift in 2 specific hormones that control hunger, a shift that happens predictably whenever sleep drops below about 6 hours. That shift does not feel like a sleep problem at all. It shows up hours later as hunger, as cravings, as a pull toward quick energy foods, long after you have already gotten out of bed and started your day. So the pattern looks like this. A late night leads to a short night of sleep. The short night shifts those hunger hormones. The shift makes you hungrier and more drawn to sugar and carbs the next day, and the pattern simply repeats. And this is where it gets interesting. What happens during those missing hours of sleep is not just less rest. It is a series of specific biological processes that either complete or do not, depending on how long you actually sleep. When you do not get enough sleep, your body increases production of a hormone called ghrelin, often called the hunger hormone. Higher ghrelin means your brain receives a stronger signal to eat, even before you have used much energy. At the same time, short sleep lowers a hormone called leptin, which normally tells your brain you have had enough to eat. With less leptin, that full signal arrives weaker and later, so meals feel less satisfying than usual. On top of that, short sleep keeps your cortisol, your main stress hormone, slightly elevated for longer than it should be. Your body behaves as if it is under mild stress, even when nothing stressful is actually happening. Put together, higher ghrelin, lower leptin, and elevated cortisol create a strong pull toward eating more, especially energy-dense foods, while also making it easier for your body to hold on to fat instead of using it for fuel. Stay with me here because timing matters just as much as total hours. Sleep is not one long, flat state. Your body moves through different stages, and some of those stages are concentrated in specific parts of the night. Deep sleep, the stage most linked to physical repair and hormone regulation, is concentrated mainly in the first few hours after you fall asleep. Your body prioritizes this stage early, almost like opening with its most important work first. During that early window, growth hormone is released, tissues repair, and blood sugar regulation gets a kind of nightly tune-up. This window is short, and once it passes, your body shifts into lighter stages of sleep for the rest of the night. When total sleep drops below about 6 hours, especially through late bedtimes, This early repair window often gets compressed. Your body still tries to fit it in, but with less time, less of that repair work fully completes. Think of it like a washing machine cycle. If you stop the machine partway through, the clothes come out only partly cleaned. The machine did not fail. It simply did not get the time it needed to finish what it started. It often starts the night before. Staying up scrolling, watching one more episode, or finishing work emails pushes bedtime later, even if the alarm in the morning stays exactly the same. The next morning often starts with a louder hunger signal than usual, leading to a bigger breakfast, an extra pastry, or a sweeter coffee order, small choices that quietly add up without feeling like anything unusual. By midday, energy dips again, and the pull toward something quick, a granola bar, an energy drink, a second coffee, feels less like a choice and more like a need, because in a way it is. In the evening, that same elevated cortisol can show up as a second wind, a burst of energy right when you should be winding down, making it easier to stay up late again and repeat the entire cycle the next day. And the worst part is, none of these moments feel like mistakes. Each one feels small, reasonable, even normal. But there is a way to interrupt this cycle, and it does not start with food at all. Here is the reframe. None of this is about a lack of discipline around food. Your body is simply responding to a signal it received overnight, a signal that says resources might be limited, so eat more and hold on to what you have. That signal comes directly from how much and how well you sleep. It is not permanent, and it is not about willpower. Change the signal your body receives overnight, and the hunger and cravings that follow change with it. The single biggest lever here is not a perfect 8 hours every night. It is consistently getting at least 7 hours with a similar bedtime and wake time, so your body can reliably complete that early repair window most nights. If this is the first time you are hearing any of this, that is okay. You are not failing at managing your appetite or your energy. You simply did not have this piece of information before, and now you do. The solution starts with protecting a consistent window for sleep, aiming for at least 7 hours, with a bedtime and wake time that stay roughly the same most days, weekends included. This does not mean every night has to be perfect or that screens are banned forever. It means the hour before bed shifts slightly, screens dim or go away, and the wake time stays steady even after a late night. When sleep consistently reaches around 7 hours, ghrelin and leptin gradually move back toward balance, cortisol settles into its normal rhythm, and that early morning hunger and midday craving both become noticeably quieter. Most people notice a difference within the first few nights, a little less hunger right after waking, a little more steady energy by midday. Over 2 to 4 weeks of consistency, the whole daily pattern starts to feel noticeably different. Picture your phone charging overnight. If you unplug it after a couple of hours, it might say it has some charge, but it is nowhere near full, and it will not last through the next day the way it should. Your body works the same way overnight. If you wake up before enough sleep cycles complete, you are not running on empty exactly, but you are running on a partial charge, and your body reaches for quick energy, usually sugar, to make up the difference. Or think of it like a store that closes before the overnight restocking crew finishes. The shelves look mostly fine from the outside, but key items are missing, and customers, in this case your hormones, notice the gaps the next day. Once you see your hunger and energy this way tied to sleep instead of just food choices, it is hard to unsee. And no, this does not mean one late night ruins everything. It just means the next night is the next chance to reset. The first step is simple. Pick a wake time you can stick to most days, then count back at least 7 hours to find your target bedtime. The second step is starting your wind down about 30 minutes before that time. Watch for the proof over the next week or two. A little less hunger right after waking, a little more steady energy through the day. If a late night happens, just return to your normal wake time the next morning instead of trying to catch up all at once. A few weeks in, David noticed he was not raiding the pantry by mid-morning anymore. His energy stayed steadier through the afternoon, and without changing his diet on purpose, his weight slowly leveled off for the first time in years. This is not a shortcut, and it is not about perfect sleep every single night. It is about giving your body enough consistent time to complete what it is already trying to do every night. Some nights will be better than others, and that is normal. Tonight, just pick one thing. Choose your wake time for tomorrow, count back 7 hours, and treat that as your bedtime, even if it means stepping away from a screen a little earlier than usual. That one small shift is the entire starting point. Your hunger, your energy, and your weight were never just about food or willpower. They were responding to a signal your body sends overnight, a signal you can change simply by giving it enough time. Now that you know that, the rest is just paying attention.